Welcome everyone to another episode of Rodian Radio. I'm back here again with my good friend Danny. What's
Hello,
going
hello,
on,
everybody.
man?
Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Hmm.
Just want to take a brief second before we get into the show here. Um, I really want to appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Um, we've had a massive growth in listeners and people who watch our YouTube videos over the past week, and we're really grateful for that. If this is your first time listening, you can find us on YouTube if you want to see this audio recording, or you can find us wherever you get your podcast if you just want to hear the audio. I will tell you that if you listen on the podcast platform, you have more audio included into that than you do on a YouTube video. So it's basically like the exclusive audio only kind of deal is when you listen through the podcast. But if you want to see what we talk about, then you can only see that on YouTube. You can check us out on Instagram at Rodian Radio Podcast. And you can send us emails at rodianradiopc@gmail.com. Um, and the next, I'd say 2 months or so, our shows are mostly going to be focused on the Book of Boba Fett. We're not really going to include any news or anything unless it's breaking news in Star Wars. And we do have a little bit of breaking news from this past week, so we're going to include that. But since the holidays are over, the Christmas rush is over, sit back and relax, and you can unwind with me and Danny here as we
Yep.
talk about everyone's favorite space cowboy, Boba Fett.
Rango. Oh.
Rango. Rango.
Rango.
Rango. You're talking about Cad Bane. Get out of here.
All
No,
right,
we're
all right.
really though, we really do appreciate anybody new and old
We
listeners. If
do,
you're
we do,
if
yes.
yes, the more the more you check us out, the more we grow. The more we grow, the more we can be able to bring you more content and stuff. Um, a little quick shout out as a reminder, in April, I will be attending the ICC Con in Nashville, Tennessee. It's April 29th through May 1st. I will be there April 30th. That's a Saturday. If you want to meet me, I'll be decked out in my Rodian Radio apparel, which we're going to release on today's episode. We've been talking about it for weeks, but we finally
Hmm.
have them in hand. We're finally going to release them. They're going to be on our Instagram only, and of course in this video on YouTube. But the only way you can purchase them if you want to will be through Instagram, through a message to either me or an email to us. Um, we'll get into that in a minute after we talk about our news here. But and I apologize, I don't have the Count Dooku intro for the good news tonight because my recording equipment is dead. But so we'll improvise. So big breaking news from last week. Um, Return of the Jedi, my favorite Star Wars movie, my favorite. Return of the Jedi, after 40 years, has finally been abducted into the National Film Registry. That is like an organization that signifies movies as important in American culture and film history. It was one out of 25 movies that was selected out of 6,150 films. So every year they do this thing. So I'm not sure the exact number of ranking that it got, but it is pretty cool to know that it was entered into this organization after 40 years. A little bit late, but
A little
late than
bit.
never.
I'm surprised they didn't do. I'm not sure if they did Empire Strikes Back first over Return of the Jedi.
I'm sure they did Empire
They
Strikes
probably,
Back first,
yeah. Hey,
but
that's another check for Daddy.
but yeah, yeah, but no, if your favorite film is Return of the Jedi like myself, this news should make you really happy and really proud to be a fan of that movie.
I thought it was a good way to end the series. Like if you
Yeah, it
even
was a good way to end
mhm.
the OG trilogy.
Like even like because when I watched it in the early 2000s, like I watched because while the prequels were being made, I watched the old Star Wars movies, and then once Revenge of the Sith came out, it was like a complete set until they created the disaster in 2015 and so on.
the dumpster fire that we all know.
Yeah.
But those movies, they're fun to watch. They're great movies to watch. They're cool movies to watch. But it's like I said a ton of times, it was bad directing, bad writing, and just the whole team that worked on that. I don't think their communication was key. I think you had this one group of people that was like, we're going to do this. And then the other people was like, well, I didn't know about that. So we're just going to do this. And, snowball effect.
Yep. It's all right. They are, I partially forgive them because I think Mandalorian saved I'll still say it. Mandalorian saved Star Wars.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Like they had to bring back John Foy, whatever his last name was, the dude that created Iron Man, John Favreau, right? He did Iron Man, started a whole MCU, and now he's saving Star Wars. Let's just take that into consideration.
Yeah, and Dave Filoni on there too. I mean, that's just a great.
I always liked Dave Filoni ever since he did Avatar.
Well, about the fans,
his cowboy hat. I was like, yo, that guy with the cowboy hat is like he's a big brain under that hat. Like he's going.
I will never forget when I was a kid and the Clone Wars was popular. And and I'm like, man, this Dave Filoni guy created the Clone Wars. This is awesome. I like him. And then I'll never forget the first time. Well, I don't know about the first time, but just like the images just like breaded into my mind. Yeah. It's Dave Filoni, and he's got the cowboy hat on, and he's holding the Wolfpack helmet, and he's just like sitting there smiling with it. I'm like, dude, this is awesome, man.
Yeah, and he created one of the best characters in the prequels.
Yes.
And now part of the original, I guess, is Ahsoka.
Right.
One of the best characters ever developed.
When Ahsoka was first developed, everybody hated her before the Clone Wars movie came out.
I remember it. Yeah. I was like, when did she start?
She's like such a big fan base, popular character.
It's big cultural. Like big cultural influence within the Star Wars community. Like you got to know Ahsoka. If you don't know Ahsoka, then you don't know Star Wars.
Right.
She's literally the key. Or she's kind of like, if the primary characters didn't exist, she'd be like the runner up.
Yeah. Like
literally. But either way, like her stories like are all good except the spice trade ones. Like it wasn't her fault. Those are the only reasons why I watched those episodes. Like in the season, I'm talking about season 7. I'm skipping ahead. In season 7, those 4 awful episodes of the Spice Trade sisters. Man, I barely made it through. I was like, this Ahsoka's gonna fight in Mandalore. Ahsoka's gonna fight in Mandalore. That's the only reason why I watched those 4 episodes.
But those episodes did, you had to watch those in order to understand how she meets Bo-Katan.
I think you probably needed to watch the last one, obviously, but I
was you don't need the first 3.
You don't need the 4 weeks.
You don't need the first 3. But that's basically the only big breaking news that we had. I'm going to scoot back here because now, speaking of the Wolfpack and Dave Filoni, and another check for Daddy, we need to go ahead and show you guys our merchandise we've been working on. So I'll let Danny go first. This is one of our shirts that we have. This is the Danny Rodian Radio shirt.
This is the Rodian Radio. This is number 5's, my boy.
We got the 5's logo.
And then we got the back.
You got Commander Fox crossed out with an X. And if you can't read that, and for you guys listening, it says in remembrance of CT5555. That's for all you Fox haters out there. So that's one of the shirts. Now here is our basic. This is our basic Rodian Radio shirt. It just says it's like a light gray. Now all these materials are really soft. They're really soft and they don't really shrink in the washing machine. I've washed mine several times and they're still the same size. But now the Rodian Radio shirt, it's like a light gray, and on the front it says RR, a Star Wars podcast, and then on the back you have a big Rodian head.
Classic.
It's just
it's a really nice shirt. Like it's the quality of the materials. It's just
soft. It's just a very basic, simple shirt, but it's so effective.
The beanies are really good too.
And we have a matching beanie for that shirt. It's a
Mhm.
light cream beanie, and it's just got the Rodian head on the front of it. Now these
Mhm.
beanies are they're real soft, they're real comfortable. I'm not sure what material it is, but it's got a stretchy band,
Mhm.
and you can pop the stitching in it to fit your head. But I mean, once you pop it so far, you can't go back. But so just use your own judgment for that. The next shirt we have, well, we'll wait on that because that shirt is the Rodian Radio exclusive.
Ooh, exclusive people. We got exclusive shirts.
So the hoodies that we got, and we have the hoodies and matching beanies for these. You can tell I'm wearing the beanie that matches the hoodie. It's a gray beanie, and it's got the Wolfpack logo on the top. And the hoodie is what I'm wearing now. The front of it. These are very good hoodies, people. They're like wool hoodies, and they fit very nice. I have a large, and it's a little bit baggy on me, but it's not so baggy to where it's like you feel like you're wearing your uncle's hoodie.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be some room because imagine like you're living somewhere cold, like underneath you have a
Yes.
long sleeve or something, like it has like that extra cushion, so it's fine. Like
Yes, they're
overall,
very comfortable. They're very comfortable, and you
they
get
really are,
it's
to be honest.
very worth your money. Trust me. And these are not going to be scalper prices. They're not
No.
going to be overpriced. They're going to be reasonable prices. And you got to keep in mind, we have to make a profit. The person who makes them for us has to make a profit. And so, of course, you're going to be paying, plus shipping and everything. So it's not going to be like you can go to Walmart or, your nearest convenience store and buy it.
Mhm.
So, but they're not going to be so overpriced that they're unaffordable, if you know what I mean. So these hoodies, the front of it says Rodian Radio in black letters, and all the designs are all in black, and the hoodie itself is like a dark charcoal.
Yeah.
But on each sleeve, you have the Wolfpack logo.
Mhm.
Each sleeve, it's on both
One
sides,
and only. I've never seen any of this sweater have that or
and
any of
then
the sides of that.
the back has it has Commander Wolf's helmet, and it says the Wolfpack. And like I said, the front of it has Rodian Radio. Now, for all you people out there that like to get on these podcasts and just criticize everything, well, what does that have to do with Rodian? Well, it doesn't necessarily have to do with Rodian because I myself, the Wolfpack are some of my favorite clone troopers, and you don't ever see Wolfpack apparel. And if you do, it's always something that doesn't really look that good. So
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted
true.
to do something that, that represented the wolf pack, but you also feel like you're wearing clone armor, hence the wolf logo on each shoulders.
And you're part of our pack, the
And you're
Rodian
part of
Radio
our
pack.
pack, the Rodian Radio pack.
What
And like
more
I
do you
said, you
want,
got the
people?
matching beanie for it.
Mhm.
Now, we also have tumblers. You have
Dope.
Greedo right here, and it wraps all the way around. It says Rodian Radio, a Star Wars podcast. Sorry for the people watching on YouTube. The reflection's kind of messing with it. It is kind of a glossy tumbler, but this is a great tumbler. It comes with you got your moisture farming right there on the background, and you got one of the twin suns down here on the bottom. I'm actually drinking some eggnog in this.
Dude, actually, the base actually looks really nice. Look at that.
So this right here, it's a stainless steel, I believe. It comes with a lid, and I believe it comes with a stainless steel and the plastic straw. So I mean, you're obviously getting your money's worth out of this stuff.
Rodian Radio's for the people.
For the people, for the fans.
And
Now,
Commander Fox haters.
and Commander Fox haters, if you're one of Danny's people.
Yes.
Commander Fox did nothing wrong, in my opinion, but
I looked into it. I was like, you know what? He did. He did do something wrong.
I guess you could say, yeah, maybe this, maybe that, maybe he did,
Nope.
maybe he didn't.
In my
Tomato,
photos.
tomato.
Nope. I guess I have to make my point clear again in one of my photos.
Okay, so
Unrest.
okay, all right. Well, we'll come back to that
All right.
at a later time. So this is the Rodian Radio exclusive T-shirt. Now, you guys watching, you guys listening, pay attention to me. This is a Rodian Radio exclusive. You can only buy this shirt at Rodian Radio, with along with all this other apparel. But this one right here is the cherry on top of all of our collection that we have. So the front of the shirt, it's the same as the other Rodian Radio. It's just a little bit of a light color. It's not very gray. It's more of like a cream. Matches the Rodian beanie. And the front of the shirt has got the logo, and it says Rodian Radio. Okay, now the back is the kicker. As you know, we all here like to make fun of George Lucas. It says, and I quote, "Another check for daddy." And it has George Lucas's face right there beside it. Now you can only get this at Rodian Radio. This is the Rodian Radio exclusive. I'll wear this shirt more than any other shirt that I have because it is hilarious. And it is my favorite shirt, and it's so comfortable. It's very comfortable. Like I feel like I'm wearing straight cotton. That's how soft this stuff is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was gonna say like that. Like
yeah, and I've never had any shirts that feel this way. And that they're just very nice. They feel really nice. If you wanna check those back out again, you can rewind the YouTube video to see them. I will post these on our Instagram, along with prices and shipping included and all that. And internationally, I'm not sure yet if we can do that. Right now, these are only available in the United States unless you're willing to pay extra for international, because shipping outside the United States right now is very expensive. And I don't want to, charge somebody $85 for a t-shirt and 55 of it is shipping. That's just ridiculous to me. But right now, these are only available in the United States. Like I said, I'll post them on my Instagram or on the Rodian Radio Instagram, and I'll post them on my personal Instagram for my collecting. And Danny, you can post them if you want to.
Yeah, definitely. I think
about it. I think you said you was going to model for us. Is that right?
I will. Yeah, I'll have some model photos of this shirt.
Rodian Radio going.
Rodian Radio, the beanie. I think I have so many photos I took from Disneyland, and I was like, Rodian Radio under arrest, and I was like, I gotta go. That was pretty fun. But anyways, like, yeah, I'll definitely leave the link of Rodian Radio.
I got that Tumblr real quick. Yeah. It's just a very nice cool. Tumblr. Nice. Rodian Radio.
It is really nice. I'd get like a coffee mug. That'd be dope.
And it's very good about keeping drinks cold and hot. I mean, it's just like a regular tumbler, but it's Rodian Radio.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be. I think it's one of the first times that I would advertise myself in my personal Instagram account with the Rodian Radio stuff, and I'll also do leave the link up below, and then you can also message me too under like DCRZboy_photos, like just any questions what you have about the shirts, and then like we respond pretty fast. Like we're not like we leave you on red, like if like because your opinion matters to us, and also like
absolutely
communication is key, like between like the client and like our business.
Absolutely. Now these sizes run, I believe, from extra small to 3X. So there's a very good range in there.
Yeah.
And there may be more shirts to come. There may be more tumblers, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. But as of right now, this is what we went with.
This is like the launch edition of it.
Yes, yes. Now, the last thing here of reveals, my wife got me the best Christmas present you could ever ask for. And this will be going in the Rodian Radio studio. It is the Black Series Greedo from the Orange line.
You just had to get it. It was a must.
Yes, back from
I think like 2015 or something.
2013.
2013, even older. Nice.
So almost 10 years ago.
Dude, that's crazy. Think about that.
Very good figure. This will be up on the the wall.
Dude, it has to be like the Mona Lisa of Rodian Radio, like behind a.
Whenever the studio is finished, it will be in the videos.
In production.
In production. All right, so that's all the reveals that we had. That's all the breaking news that I had for this episode. And like I said, from here on out until the Book of Boba Fett is done premiering, most of our news are not going to be available through us. We apologize, but we can only fit so much into a show. and I really want to focus on after shows for the Book of Boba Fett, because if
Yes.
you're like me and you're a diehard Star Wars fan, you just got to talk about this stuff the day it comes out.
Dude, right. Do you know what's crazy? I think before we did this show, like I was like that for the Clone Wars season 7, like the good episodes.
Yeah,
Like
the good
basically
episodes.
basically all the episodes except the Spice Trade. Like I was just like every time I watched that at 12:01, I was from 12:01, and I think some of them were like 30 minutes or like 40 minutes, and like by 1 o'clock, I'm like, I need to tell somebody about this. But like I can't. I would legit go on Rodian Radio at 1 in the morning if like Boba Fett has something like crazy.
Yes. And even if you're not on the show and you're just listening or watching, and like you're dying to talk about this stuff, and then here we are talking about it, and you're like, yes, I needed somebody to talk about this with, and here you guys, you just said it for me, and here I am. Because if you're one of the people like me, I listen to other Star Wars podcasts, and when like a new Mandalorian episode comes out or a new trailer comes out, and I want to talk about it, these podcasts are so good about talking about it, and it's like they just hit everything that I wanted to talk about, and I'll just be wearing my headphones, walking through public, and just smiling into nothing because I'm like, yes, somebody else gets it. So if you're one of those people like me, this is why we are here. We are here for your Star Wars audio entertainment.
I think we have
And
enough knowledge to give back
yes,
to the diva. I think so. I think we qualify.
yes, I think we qualify as diehard Star Wars nitpickers.
Nitpick. I nitpick, but like if I'll
Now
let it
there's a
slide.
good and a bad
Okay, yeah,
nitpick.
okay, yeah. I like
Yeah.
I'll like obviously I'll let a lot of it slide, but if it's like Jar Jar becomes a Sith Lord, I nitpick it, but for like
For
to like
fun.
make fun of, yeah, for fun, because I'm
Yeah.
like might as well give him like lightning or like the fidget
Yeah.
spinner, like
That's why we're here, is for fun. We're not here
no,
to just, derail Star Wars. That's
but
not
we
what we're
will,
about.
yeah, except the newest Star Wars movies, but we can go
Nah, we're
on
not
for
getting into
days for that,
that.
but
That's a
that's
whole separate
yeah,
segment.
we're moving on from that. We're moving on
All
from
right,
garbage.
so let's get into Boba Fett. This is
Mhm.
we are here 3 days before the premiere of the Book of Boba Fett. Um, if I'm not mistaken, episodes of the Boba Fett will be on Wednesdays from December 29th through February 9th.
Mm.
They will drop at midnight, I believe,
Or
depending
tech,
on where you're at.
yeah, or technically like Tuesday night, like
Yeah,
basically. 'Cause-
depending on where you're at, what time zone you're in, it'll
Mhm.
differ. But if you're here in the United States, it'll be I think it'll be like midnight for West,
Mhm.
and I think it'll be me,
For
which
you, it's like
I'm in the
9,
South. It would be around 2 a.m.
2
2
a.m.
to
Really?
yeah, 2 to 3 a.m. Because that's how the Mandalorian was. I didn't get to like it wasn't available until
Dang.
like
So I
3 a.m.
watched it way before you.
Yeah, so we're gonna after each episode premieres, we're gonna try to get an episode out before the next episode
Hmm.
appears, prior talking about the previous episode.
Yeah.
Um, so look for those. They'll be labeled Boba Fett After Show #1, #2, yada yada.
Mhm.
But this right here is our prediction and what to expect, and overall general thoughts of how the show is going to go. So, you want to go first, or you want me to go first, and how you think this show is going to go?
Let's see. You go first, because I probably have a whole different opinion of what you're.
You probably
Uh,
do, because you have a different opinion about everything that I do.
that's true, but somehow we come in the middle and then it works out. It's
Yes.
like
Okay. So how I feel this show is going to go based on the trailer. I think the trailer is just showing us clips from the very first episode.
yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything past episode 1. Um, I think this show is going to give us a lot of characters that we're not expecting, and a lot of characters that are new. Obviously, like every new thing comes out, you're going to have characters that nobody knows. Um, I don't see this show having a Grogu character that steals the show for a whole separate reason, but I do feel like this show is going to give justice to the 40 years we've waited for Boba Fett. Another thing from the trailers, I think it's going to be like there's going to be tons of action in it, of course, because you can't have Boba Fett without action, but I think there's going to be a lot of ups and down emotionally portrayed through Boba Fett. And if you're one of those people that's like, well, the thing about Boba Fett is the mystery of the character. He's the lone wolf. We don't need to see his heartbreak and we don't need to see his enjoyment and all this stuff. To me, I would rather have a character that shows you emotion, like the Mandalorian. You've seen emotion through him, and he didn't even have his helmet off. But you could tell in the way he moved and his voice what kind of emotion he was going through. But with Boba Fett, obviously, he's shown a lot with his helmet off. Of course, I think that's got to do a lot with Boba has matured since the last time we seen him. And he's not all about selfless, here I am covering my face because nobody needs to know what I look like because I'm here to make money. I feel like we're in the grown-up, matured Boba Fett who actually runs businesses the way businesses should be run. So in a way, I guess I feel like we're seeing a more mature Boba Fett than what we've seen in the original trilogy. That's basically how I think this show is going to go. Like I said, I think it'll start off episode 1. We're going to pick up from Boba and Fennec doing who knows what, and I think we may see them meet each other, and a real good. Well, we'll get into that later because that's on a different topic. But I feel like this show is going to bring us a lot of wow moments.
Well, I believe that
basically you disagree with everything I just said.
No, I believe that everything like it's going to be introduced from the first episode, but I feel like Fennec is going to play a very strong role.
Oh, absolutely.
Like as a supporting character, and because usually think about it, not a lot of supporting characters are good in Star Wars besides like clones, because we feel it, like before and after Order 66. And like she's definitely going to be playing a big role because I believe that eventually somehow she's going to betray him, like because they're bounty hunters. They tend like something will like trigger or whatever, like even though he saved her life, like she's still an assassin. That's how I see it. And I feel like the Book of Boba, I don't know if they're going to make more than one, but I feel like this will.
They're not.
They're not. Okay, so
from what I believe, this is a one series start and finish.
So I strongly believe that it will introduce Mandalorian season 3.
Yes,
like they go to Mandalore. Obviously, we're gonna see like, because this series feels like a filler, but it's like a filler that we need because we have a lot of theories of like how Boba survived. First of all, how we need to see how he survived that. Like
now, I have heard from a very reliable source that there was a Sarlacc prop. I don't know if it was a tentacles or a mouth that was on the set of something at Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
I don't see them bringing in a Sarlacc prop for Mandalorian. I definitely don't see them bringing in a Sarlacc pit for Andor. You might can have one in Kenobi. Who knows? Maybe Kenobi like bonds with it like Ezra does some creatures, but I highly doubt that.
I feel like, because you think about it, I think Boba Fett is a pretty brutal character. Like I'm pretty sure like the idea that he wants to rule with like respect and say it's like he's just tired of all the the like the backstabbing stuff. He's like, oh, I've been here before, like he's old now. He's like, I think he's at the height of his prime.
Yeah.
Like since
back to what you said about Fennec betraying him because they are bounty hunters. I don't think necessarily Boba Fett sees himself as a bounty hunter anymore.
Like what's it called? I was gonna say landlord. I was gonna say like
post Sarlacc, I don't think Boba sees himself as a bounty hunter as to pre-Sarlacc. Because I feel like in the first episode we're gonna see him and Fennec. Maybe they're walking together on a mission and they just start chit-chatting, and Fennec's like, so how'd you get all those battle scars and how'd you lose your armor? And
Mm.
that's how we're gonna see Boba Fett escaping the Sarlacc. Now, the
Or
way
what if
I would
they
like to
introduce
see
the
it,
episode with him coming out of the
that would
Sarlacc?
be awesome. But I think I would prefer to see him talking about it and having flashbacks.
Hmm.
I think that would make it more dramatic.
The thing about that with me is like when it comes to like I believe in the like show but don't tell kind of thing. Like
Hmm.
you know what's going on. Like there's nobody needs to say anything. Like I can just imagine it being dark and like he's you just see him climbing out of the pit, you know, and he's like fighting it. So you already know where we're at. Like the over explaining is annoying because the the writers feel like that the fans or the audience don't know like the
Yes.
story of it. And I understand that, but they do it to the point where it's like we get it, you know, like
Yeah.
we get this tentacle thing. He's got a big issue with that. Like, but like sometimes you gotta like trust the audience to what they see.
Yeah. And another thing is like, I I would like to see like, I think that, see, in Star Wars Legends, the comics, Dengar is actually the person who nurses Boba Fett back to health after he escapes the Sarlacc.
Hmm.
But in canon, which is what we're seeing on screen,
Yeah.
I would like to see. I would like to see, and I believe it's going to happen because we've seen so many of them throughout Mandalorian. The Tusken Raiders. I think
Mhm.
the Tuskens are the ones that help Boba Fett,
I could see that too. I don't
because
have an issue with those
that would
characters.
explain how he got the Tusken robes, how he would got the gaffy stick. What I don't
Or maybe he
understand,
killed one.
yeah, maybe he killed one. What I don't understand though is how he lost his armor, unless it's like you said, unless he killed one and he had to go into hiding
Mhm.
and he just dumped his armor. But I don't see why Boba would dump his armor just to stalk Mando to get it back. I believe he genuinely lost his armor somehow. And it may be because maybe the Tuskens pulled him out and he was passed out for days and they took his armor and sold it to Jawas for money.
Mhm.
And maybe they helped nursed him back to health and then basically just, sent him on his way.
Mhm.
Which I think, I predict that that's how this show's gonna go, because I don't see how Boba would just be willing to give his armor up, especially if it's got his chain code embedded in it.
Yeah. Mm.
What do you think? Go ahead.
Oh, what were you saying? No, I was just gonna go with what you were saying.
I was gonna say, hold on, I was enjoying some of this eggnog from this Rodian Radio tumbler.
Yeah, get yours now.
Yeah, get yours now. Big bad toy store.
Gosh,
Um, no, I was just gonna say, who do you think we're gonna see appear in this show?
like a surprising character.
Yeah,
It has to be at least one.
yeah, there
I
has to
don't
be
really,
at least
I
one.
don't really count like R2D2 or like the robots. I don't count because, because who does he got? I see Mando towards the end of the season.
Mando.
At the end of the season, yeah.
Well, I could say, it's almost guaranteed that we're gonna see Mandalorian,
Hmm.
the Mandalorian.
And we could
If
see.
if you follow Katie Sackhoff on Instagram, which is the person who plays Bo-Katan in the Mandalorian
Mhm.
and the Clone Wars, she's been posting on her story Boba Fett, like 1 week until Boba Fett, and then like just today she posted 3 days until Boba Fett. So that, now there's many different ways you can go with this. You could say, well, she's just a big fan and she's wanting to make other people excited. Then
Mhm.
you can go, well, she's already a Mandalorian. What if she's in the Mandalorian, like going to be appearing in the Book of Boba Fett as Bo-Katan? That's why she's promoting it, to earn
Yeah.
a side paycheck, because maybe she's got a contract, promote so and so for so long. There's many
What
different
is
ways you can go with that.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things that really just gets my mind turning, because when you see a certain, that's like having Mark Hamill or Harrison Ford post Kenobi announcements. Because the first thing I would think of is, first of all, when did Harrison Ford get social media?
I was like, I don't even think that guy has a Twitter.
Second of all, why would Harrison Ford post something about Obi-Wan Kenobi if he's not in it? Because we all know Harrison Ford doesn't like Star Wars like everybody thinks that he would, where he does it for the money. So, I mean, this is kind of how I see Katie Sackhoff. Maybe we're going to see a Bo-Katan cameo, since we are talking about a Mandalorian here. But, well, Boba's not a Mandalorian. Well, get out of here, because he says he is in Mandalorian.
That's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't take it too like if she, like, I wouldn't be like, is she in it? I don't know. Maybe she's just promoting, just cause like it's like
Yeah, maybe I'm
it's
looking
Disney,
into this
like
too deep.
maybe because when I saw it, I was like, she may or may not, like, I wouldn't care too much if she's in it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay, like they have. But then at the same time, like, isn't she supposed to be dealing with bigger issues here, like
Yeah,
the
for
sword and
real.
everything? And like, I don't know, her marriage to Mando or something, like for the sword.
Well, another thing that makes it so difficult to actually, give a legit prediction is we've not really seen any footage from anything except the trailer.
Hmm.
And the trailer is just telling, I feel like we know a 5-minute part of a 7-episode series.
True, and that's how it should be. To be honest, too many spoilers ruin the
And
show.
back to what I said about people showing up, I think we're going to see Mando. But on the bounty hunter aspect, I'm going to have to say either Cad Bane or Dengar.
Cad Bane has to be in a wheelchair by that time because
It's
it's
got,
after the Clone Wars.
you've got to have Cad Bane, you've got to have Dengar, or you've got to have Bosk. You've got to have one of the three. And I think the most
Bosk.
logical one is Bosk.
Yeah.
Because, in the Clone Wars, Bosk and Boba were like pals almost.
Hmm.
They were pretty good deals. But I will say this, and for you listening, this is not confirmed. So don't, if you're driving and listening to us, chill out. Don't scream and swerve the wheel. If you're walking, you might want to sit down. Like I said, disclaimer, this is not confirmation, so don't freak out. I heard a rumor
Hmm.
from a very, very, very legitimate resource that Harrison Ford has been on the set of Lucasfilm, which we know they're making Indiana Jones 5. It's the same company. But I have heard Harrison Ford has been in the de-aging process system at Lucasfilm. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that I hear that 5 days before the Book of Boba Fett's about to drop. And we all know that Boba Fett and Han Solo have beef with each other. And I don't think Boba Fett's going to forget the person that put him in the Sarlacc pit.
Technically, it's Luke, but
Technically, it's Han Solo. Boba Fett jabbed the backpack.
yeah.
But like I said, this is not confirmation. This is just a rumor that I heard.
Why don't
But,
they just hire the actor from Han Solo? But that wouldn't make
well,
sense.
maybe they're going to do that like they did with Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian. They had the one person and then they had Mark Hamill, and they kind of just blended them together. However,
Wait, oh yeah, it would make sense because this happens before The Force Awakens.
yeah, this happens this happens 6 years after Return of the Jedi. So Han Solo would be a little older than what he was in Solo.
Mm.
But we know that Indiana Jones 5 is in the making, and I've heard that Harrison Ford was de-aged for that, but it's the same company. making both movies, both movie and show. It's the same people. It's probably the same studio. They probably filmed the same studios. So if you've already got Harrison Ford, you've already got him to do the de-aging process. You're already making a Han Solo inspired character miss whatever happened with him jabbing the backpack. It's basically Han Solo's fault. We're having this series in the
All I
first
remember
place.
is when he says Boba Fett, where? And then he literally just swings the
Yeah,
thing.
like technically, if you think about it, if it wasn't for Han Solo, we wouldn't be getting this Boba Fett series. Because if Han Solo never did that, Boba wouldn't have fell in the Sarlacc, so therefore we wouldn't have seen Boba come back in The Mandalorian to pick up his own spin-off show.
Oh man, now we're going off track in this.
So,
I
like
don't
I
know.
said,
I'd be a little like, I'd be like a Han Solo again. I'd be like,
again, what do you mean again? If I seen Han Solo and Chewbacca in the Book of Boba Fett, my next door neighbors are gonna hear me screaming. They can probably hear me right now because I'm getting so excited about it.
I'd be like, that is a surprise.
But like I said, if you've already got the guy in the studio on another project, who's to say they didn't walk 10 feet over and said, hey, Harrison, if you do this, we'll offer you $25 million just to come on and do a cameo. Who would turn down that money? Especially somebody like Harrison Ford. I don't want to get anybody hopes up. That's why I said, just
don't
calm
get your hopes
down.
up,
It's
people.
not confirmed. It's just rumored.
From what he told me the information, I'd say this is gonna be like a middle episode if it happens.
I think it's very unlikely, but I think it's also likely at the same time. So I'm kind of half and half on that. But I do fully expect to see one Clone Wars era bounty hunter.
Yeah, we need Cad Bane.
Preferably Bosk.
It was say Bosk, I say Cad Bane.
Well, I mean, they've already got the Bosk costume from 43 years ago or however long it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Bosk.
But you got to have D. Bradley Baker doing the voice. You can't have Bosk without D. Bradley Baker because he does the voice in the Clone Wars for Bosk.
Mm-hmm. That's true. What
Same
else?
way with Cad Bane. You can't have Cad Bane without having the actor who does the voice.
I think, how would they do it? He would probably have to be like CGI.
It would be CGI.
Like half CGI, half like real person body CGI face.
Yeah.
And
who knows, man? You've got Dave Filoni and you got Jon Favreau writing this show. And if they're going to bring back Luke Skywalker in a show about a Mandalorian, who knows what we're going to get in Boba Fett show.
I forget. See, I always have high expectations for ever since they brought Luke, because when I saw Luke, I was like, everyone, I rolled my eyes when people were like, it's Ezra. And I'm like, do you guys not know the single X-Wing? I'm like, you guys are not Star Wars fans. I was like, I diss all those people. I'm like, I knew it was Luke.
Just think about it, man. You've got Jon Favreau. This guy created Iron Man. He made Iron Man popular when nobody cared about Iron Man like they did. Then on the other hand, you got Dave Filoni, who learned straight from George Lucas about Star Wars. The master and Padawan. Dave Filoni being the Padawan, I feel like now has taken on the role of master in a sense. And yes, I grant him a seat at my council. So you've got these two genius creators working on a show of a 41-year-old, maybe 42, 43-year-old Star Wars iconic figure that people has waited 40 years to see. Just for 5 minutes, do something other than stand and look cool. Who knows what to expect in this show?
It's pretty brutal. That's what I know.
And to have the OG bounty hunter playing Boba Fett, Jango Fett himself playing Boba Fett. It's phenomenal. I'm like, if you would have told me this 10 years ago, hey, you're going to see Disney make these series of movies. Everybody's going to hate them for what they are or whatever. You're going to see Luke Skywalker murdered as a character. Then you're going to see a spin-off show of a Mandalorian bring Luke Skywalker back and redeem him and give everybody what they've waited for 40 years. Then, not only then, but to have a spin-off show of Boba Fett from 40 years ago after coming out of the Sarlacc pit, I would have looked at you and said, bro, you're crazy. There's no way they would ever make a show about Boba Fett, much less a movie. But if you would have told me 15 years ago that Disney was going to own Star Wars,
there's no way.
I would have looked at you and said, "What? I don't even know what you're talking about. There's no way George Lucas would sell Star Wars." But here we are.
The possibilities are endless.
Here we are. I mean, and who knows what? Anything is possible. I mean, look at the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars was great. Season 5 ended. Everybody thought it was over. Season 6 was only available on Netflix. After that, Disney bought Star Wars. Disney didn't like the Clone Wars. No more Clone Wars ever again. What happens a few years later?
Rebels.
More Season 7. And we got to see Order 66, Darth Vader, and Ahsoka and Rex character development in one season under Disney. I'm sorry for everybody listening to this. Your minds are probably just so out in left field right now because I know you are. I can see your face.
I was like, I'm trying to keep on track, but I'm like, hold it right there. I'm bringing you back to reality here. Like, there is a lot of possibilities.
Must be the eggnog in this Rodian Radio Tumblr that's making me go off track.
Thank God. Yeah, I think because I can't even predict what direction this show is going to go in. I think I need to see the first episode to kind of get the tone.
Well, it's the same with the Mandalorian. After the first episode of that show, like I had no clue.
Yeah, but Mando was literally like, my car broke. I gotta stop at this planet and, and then fix the car. Like Mando was broke. Boba was not broke. Boba had money. He worked for the Empire and he worked for Jabba. And like if somebody were to pull the gun on Boba, he'd instantly fire back. And
at the end of the day, Boba could relax at the Polynesian spa.
Exactly. So Boba had control and he had power. Mando was just trying to get from point A to point B
without dying.
Yeah, without dying and with like $3 in his wallet. like that's what he's got to do.
I always thought it was funny in The Mandalorian how he was like, he spent all of his paycheck on a suit of armor.
Yeah, and then he forgot about his car.
And it's so relatable.
On the second episode too.
It's so relatable to all of us collectors.
Yeah, he spends it on the armor.
Yeah, and then he's like, I don't want everybody to show me much attention. And then that one character is like, well, you're walking around in a suit of Beskar. It's like, you're drawing everybody's attention to you. I was like, that's so relatable to all of us collectors. We spend half of our paycheck on figures, and then we complain about scalpers who get these figures, and it's a snowball effect. But I always thought that was so funny how Mando was just like, here's your money. Oh, great. I'm going to go buy me a suit of armor.
Horrible. He needs a financial accountant.
Yeah. Like, forget my minivan that's got 2 tires and 4 windows on
it. No AC. Like,
yeah. No AC, no radio. The brake system doesn't work good.
Dude, like in Boba, I feel like they're going to try something. Fennec, I think I'm going to like. One, I like the figure. I already knew I was like, I need this figure. This figure's really, really good. Especially her sniper rifle. That was so good. Like, even in the Clone Wars, she was a good character in the Bad Batch. Even though I have mixed feelings about the Bad Batch, like, she was good. Like, she one-on-one Cad Bane and still walked out.
I think Fennec is going to take, I think her character is going to take a complete 180 turn, good or bad.
Yeah.
but I think her character is going to strongly develop from episode 1 to episode 7.
Yeah, definitely.
I think she will become the new leader of the Hutt controlled territories.
Well, Boba goes to Mandalore to kick some
Mando
butt.
season 3.
Ooh,
That's how the show is going to end. I'm predicting that right now.
That's how
And Nick will take over, and Boba will go to Mandalore to help Mando.
And then
because he's already done it once.
Oh, dude, when Obi-Wan comes out, I am pounding the table. I see two epic fights in that show, and it's gonna be the shortest, best show ever in Star Wars history. It'll knock
now,
off.
I've done said, with 7 episodes, that kind of makes me wonder if the first episode's going to be like 2 episodes in one.
It has to be like at least an hour.
At least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Bad Batch episode 1 was technically 3 episodes, and it was like an hour and a half long.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm not really predicting this, but just imagine last episode, Boba walks out of Jabba's palace, and he hears somebody drop down behind him, and he turns around, and all you hear is, "Hello there."
Oh, no.
Or no, I got one even better. We hear, "Take a seat, young Fett."
Oh God.
And then he turns around.
There we go. That Brahmin.
Yeah.
What if Mace Windu's in this?
And he just turns around and he's like, "Windu left me for dead on the sands of Tatooine."
Nah.
I don't really expect to see any Jedi or anything in the show.
I think there will possibility of Jedi, like they talk about it, at least.
I think there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs, no doubt.
Yeah, but definitely.
No doubt. And I think we're going to see more of Bib Fortuna. I really expect to see more Bib, because we got to know what's wrong with Bib and Boba, why they got this feud.
Who's Bib again?
Bib Fortuna. His job is right-hand man.
He just shot him. He straight up he died.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like a flashback. We're gonna see why Boba shot him.
Oh, because he didn't save him.
Yeah, and if you go back and you watch Return of the Jedi, right before the sail barge explodes, Bib Fortuna is nowhere to be seen in any of those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's nowhere. He's nowhere. So
I guess I'll maybe find out.
Maybe he had like the little escape pod that Jabba didn't know about. And he's like, anything goes south on any of these sail barge missions, I'm just gonna jump in here and get out of here. Take over as the Hutt.
Yeah, I think the Book of Boba Fett. It'll be a series we want more of, but not at the moment.
Yes.
Because I can tell that the fight scenes are going to be pretty brutal.
Oh yeah, just from seeing Tim Morrison make that face in the trailer.
Yeah, and
when the stormtroopers, he's cracking helmets and stuff.
I thought that was one of the best
surprised.
scenes.
I was very surprised that was on that.
Yeah, especially with his knee shotgun looking thing.
Oh yeah.
When they introduced him there, and then they played that really I don't know how to describe it, but it was I was like,
yeah.
Now,
if you notice, if you go and you listen to, I think it's in one of the TV spots that they just recently dropped out. Mm-hmm. The music has got the seismic charge in the background as the bass drop for the music for that. So I thought that was really neat.
Dang. Boba Fett. What are they gonna do with him? I don't think this is it. I don't think he's done. I think he has
Oh no, I fully expect him to be in Mando season 3.
And you know what? And I predict he will die for Mando. He will. He's not gonna. He's gonna go. He's gonna go out with a bang.
I kind of don't want Boba to have the hero's death. I kind of want him to
Nah, it's not a hero. It's like he did it for a friend. Like he's gonna pull like you are terminated thing, but like not really kill the thing that he's trying to kill. But like he kind of like slowed it down, you know.
I kind of want Boba Fett to have like a Darth Maul death, like a confrontation that he knows he's not going to win.
What? Nah, because he wins every fight.
Every fight,
I think
because he
so.
sure didn't win against Han Solo with that gaffy stick. Boba Fett, where? Boom.
That's not if it was on one, like they're in the,
And he
little
sure didn't win
tumbleweed.
with Luke Skywalker either. I'm still convinced Boba Fett has an inhibitor chip that we don't know about, because in Return of the Jedi, Boba, when he sees Luke whip out his lightsaber, he doesn't even react, man. He doesn't even think. He just reacts. He flies down in front of Luke and just holds his gun up in front of him, ready to shoot him.
I don't know.
I'm about convinced Boba has an inhibitor chip somehow.
Nah, I'm not. I think in the one-on-one fight, Boba Fett will win. Like, I think he can take on a Jedi. I don't think he can take on Luke, but I think he can take on a Jedi, which is already enough for a non-Jedi user.
If we do see a Jedi, I would like it to be Windu, but like an older Windu, like an older, feeble Windu.
Mm-hmm.
And in Kenobi, well, of course, we'll do the Kenobi predictions and all that when Kenobi is closer, but I think we're going to see Quinlan Voss. I really do think that, but it's too early to tell because we haven't even seen the trailer for Kenobi yet.
Wait, there's no trailer, and it comes out this next year, basically. Dude.
But, Boba Fett will run from December 29th to February 9th. So it's not even 2 months, really. It's like a month and a half. A month and a half of Boba Fett. I know my good friend Michael Havens from the past interview is all excited about this. Boba Fett.
Die-hard Boba Fett.
Boba Fett fanatic, man. But that's awesome because I thought I was a Boba Fett fanatic, but not anymore. Guy just blew me away with all the Boba Fett stuff he had.
Right. God, dude. Boba Fett.
I'm excited.
I guess we're gonna have to see on Wednesday. Let me see.
I'm excited.
So am I. It's gonna be a really good show.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And from Rodian Radio to anybody listening, please listen to me, guys, girls, whoever's listening, whatever you are, what gender you are, what age you are, it doesn't matter. Do not post spoilers. Do not post spoilers, please. Because some people, like myself, don't have time to watch these shows until in the afternoon. Because I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning just to watch something so I don't get spoiled on it.
I would.
Well, you're not me, Danny. You're a Fox hater and I'm not. So
Fox haters are built different.
There's only two people in the world: those who love Fox and wake up at doesn't wake up at 3 a.m. and those who hate Fox and wake up at 3 a.m.
You must choose wisely.
So please, no spoilers the day of. I don't care what you do the day after. But the day of, just don't post spoilers. It's not that hard.
Okay, me post spoiler.
I'm going to unfollow you, Danny.
Breaking news on Rodian Radio.
I'm going to unfollow you and I'm going to block your phone number.
Complete opposite of what Chase requested. Hashtag 445.
No, don't start a trending hashtag.
Start some chaos. But yeah, like if honestly everybody just just let everybody like watch the shows first. Like at least for every episode, like safe bet, just give them at least a week, like say like if episode 2 came out, you can like I guess talk about episode 1 and then just be a week behind kind of thing.
And if you want to talk about spoilers so much, just tune into the Boba Fett after shows here on Rodian Radio.
Exactly.
just you can send us emails, or you can send us direct messages on our social medias, and we'll be happy to talk to you, either one of us.
Yeah, of course.
We live for this stuff. That's why we do this show, is
Exactly.
for the fans and for fellow collectors and fans of Star Wars, anything. And it just so happens to be about Boba Fett right now.
I know, and especially I'm getting prepared for the. You can't.
Look
It
at there, you
says
even
the
got the
bounty
bounty
hunter
hunter
code. I got
code.
the bounty hunter code. I'm ready for Wednesday.
The only thing bounty hunter I have close to me is this Rodian Radio Tumblr and my Greedo action figure and a Mandalorian action figure. Danny's about to top it. Whatever he went to get. He probably went to go get his Darksaber.
Oh my! I actually saw those, but I did find a custom. I was actually planning on selling this, but now I felt like keeping it. It is a custom figure that I've gotten. It's a Boba. It's the diamond series.
That Boba just got done eating Christmas dinner 3 times.
Yeah, he's a big boy here. But yeah, it's not.
That is pretty cool though.
This is the diamond series, and then the guy just like repainted it into a different color and everything. Not too bad. I was planning on revealing him in the photos, but first you saw it first on Rodian Radio.
Yep, that's cool though. That's very, I like the helmet and the colors for that.
Yeah.
But I think that's all we had for today's episode. Tune in to see us with the Boba Fett after shows. Like I said, we'll try to post them after the premiere episodes of the week prior. We appreciate everybody listening. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, this is your first time listening, you can find us on YouTube at Rodian Radio Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Rodian Radio Podcast. You can find us on wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rodian Radio. You can go to our Instagram. The link to our YouTube, the link is to our YouTube is in the bio if you can't find us on the search. I will post all the Rodian Radio clothing and the Tumblr and all that stuff on our Instagram along with prices, and may not get that as fast as I would like to, but it'll get up there. We really appreciate everybody being patient with us. You know, we've been kind of busy in our personal lives.
Yeah,
our schedules don't align up. Yeah, our schedules don't align up like we would like, but we jump on any chance we can to get these videos out for you guys and for us, because I don't know about Danny. He's kind of a negative person anyways, but I have fun doing these videos. I have fun.
I do too. It's just, I like to hear his nonsense first, and I'm just like, hold it right there, buddy. You're going to get a lot of people very upset if it doesn't come true. I'm like, they're going to start banging on Rodian Radio Studio. And like,
hey, I don't care. You heard it here from me that Harrison Ford is gonna be in Boba Fett.
Oh my God, here he said it, ladies and gentlemen. He can't take it back, but you know what? I will join him on that too. I believe so. Like, I believe he will be in like one of those middle episodes. He's not gonna be like a finale. Yeah, but like I feel like he'll have like some dialogue. Like there has to. You can't just like throw in maybe like give him like 3 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, like maybe they run into each other and then it's like Chewbacca's there. Like if I see Chewbacca,
to be honest, he doesn't even need a full episode. He needs like a 3 to 5 minute cameo. That would completely satisfy my Star Wars theories that goes on in my head.
I think Boba is still trying to kill him though. Excuse me. Yeah.
But I can tell you one character that's gonna be in the Book of Boba Fett.
It's Mando.
It's Boba Fett.
Oh, he got us there, ladies and gentlemen.
Boba Fett will be in the Book of Boba Fett. You heard it here first.
You don't say.
Rodian Radio.
Oh.
So,
his color
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Boba Fett will be in the Book of Boba Fett. And he'll take his helmet off too. So, get ready for that.
More content than we ever got in The Mandalorian season 1.
Yes. You heard it here. I'm actually on set of the Book of Boba Fett right now, and I actually seen Tim Morrison walk by in the armor, so I know what I'm talking about.
He's heading to the Polynesian spa right now.
Yes, on the sands of Tatooine.
Well, there you have it.
That's all I have for the episode tonight. Anything you want to say before we head out of here? Danny.
Well, I just hope, like I said, like please don't like do spoilers. Like if you guys want to talk to us about it, like we're willing to like hop on like right when the episode, or like hop on sometime throughout that day, like to like talk about the episode, or like sometime within that period of like the release. And also like, yeah, like hope everybody has like a good new year, because going into 2022 is really, really, really big for figures, and also like Star Wars as well. Like when I mean figures, I
Called
mean
it.
like, yeah, the all the Black Series figures are pretty hot coming out
I
this year.
called it what, 3 months ago?
You did. I remember I was there and I was like, because it was like with the Ahsoka, and I was like, okay, we're leading towards it. And then we got Umbro, we got White Grievous, we got like
You got Cobb
D-
Vanth. You got all these vintage collection. You got all these Black Series Deluxe. You got
mhm,
just all these figures.
Commando. Yeah, it's so many, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. Looking more
R.I.P.
towards.
Rancor.
Unfortunately, I do apologize that I've been busy. It's just I recently graduated and just finished school. And now that it's clear, it's just you got like just adjusting the life and everything like that. But I do want to record more. It is fun talking with Chase and arguing with him about his ridiculousness, but some of them do come true,
I wouldn't say
especially
it's arguing.
or our discussions, we call
I would say
them.
it's friendly. How old is it? What does Padme say to Anakin? She calls it what?
I don't know.
Hostile negotiations or something
Hostile
like that.
negotiation. Yeah, but it's fun though. It's really cool that.
Aggressive negotiations or
Yeah,
something like that.
because we have about pretty much the same knowledge of the thing, and then we have like different opinions about it. That's all about stars. We just come here and talk, unless like we're friendly and everything. But if you say Rey is the best Jedi ever, then you are excluded from this conversation.
No, you're not. Don't listen to him.
You're excommunicated. Excuse me.
No, you're not. Even though Rey is not the best Jedi. In my
Yeah.
opinion, Rey is not even a Jedi. Look, you've already got me started, man. We can't do
There
this
we
here
go.
on the
You see.
Boba Fett show.
All right. We'll do it for another episode. No worries. But yeah, that's what I
But
wanted to say.
and anybody who hasn't noticed already, Danny's got a new background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The troopers are in town. Oh, even this figure's coming out, or this
Yeah,
figure right
is
here is
that
coming out.
Fordo?
I think so. He's coming out in Black Series as well. I think I
So,
gotta get him.
as
Yeah,
you can tell, I'm still in the pre-studio lounge here.
You gotta do an upgrade. You gotta fund this man right now.
I do. I've gotta get some work done.
Yeah,
It's very hard.
you
But
got this.
no, we really appreciate everyone listening. If you've been a listener from the beginning, we really appreciate
We
it.
do
If you're a
appreciate
new
you.
listener, we appreciate it. Even if this is your first episode that you've seen with us, we appreciate it. That's all I got. So until next time, we will see you here on the Boba Fett after show.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, may the force be with you here on Rodian Radio.
See ya.